Over the last couple weeks, an Indiana law that's connected to the Freedom of Religion Act, passed in 1993 by the federal government, has taken main stage in this country, as some people claim that this law will allow for lack of a better term, I guess, legalized discrimination, primarily against gay people or homosexuals in the state of Indiana. Now, never mind that 19 states have a bill similar to this. Arkansas was looking at re-strengthening or rewording their Freedom of Information or their Freedom of Religion Act, but has delayed that due to some of the public pressure. And I can understand why there's some controversy over this. This really holds two of America's prime principles together in one instance, and they almost seem to be pushing back and forth. One, the freedom of religion. That's something this country was founded on from the Puritans on up. They came here to be free of religion. They came here to be free either of religion, from religion, to practice their religion, however you want to say it. But freedom of religion is one of our key fundamental, basically, values, let's say. And another value, I would say, is tolerance. We've always been an extremely tolerant nation of those from all different parts of the world. I'm not saying when they got here there wasn't racism, there wasn't problems, there wasn't prejudice, but the point is, as a country, as a principle, we've had our doors open for the most part for the world to come in. Now you can argue some of that with immigration, etc., but these are both principles of tolerance and religious freedom for the most part that we hold dear in this country. And this is why this law is somewhat troubling. But let's go back to 1993 when the federal law was passed. The federal law was passed in 1993 because the hot button issue at the time were tribal rights, sovereign Native American nations that felt like there were certain either city ordinances, county laws, or different types of regulations that could truly infringe on some of their Native American ceremonies and their Native American practices. And since that was part of their religion, the federal government, mainly led by Democrats like Bill Clinton, who signed it into office, and Chuck Schumer, who soon could become your Speaker of the Senate, and the Senate Majority Leader, talked about how these laws were needed to protect freedom, etc. So the law was passed in 1993, with that being one of the big cruxes. Now we fast forward 20 plus years later, and now that Christians are seeing that this is a way for them to protect their religion and their interaction with different entities, has now become a big issue. The Hobby Lobby case, you can think back with the Affordable Care Act. When I look at the Indiana law and the federal law, the only real distinction that I could see between the two is the Indiana law is a little bit broader and allows people and corporations to kind of be regarded as the same thing. And this is where you get into the scenario where somebody can own a bakery, and if a gay couple comes in for a wedding cake, they could say, no, I don't want to make you a wedding cake because you're gay and it's against my religion. And now people think that that is somehow the most terrible thing that's ever happened in the world. It wouldn't be nice. Obviously, if I'm that gay couple I would feel discriminated against, I would be upset. But also, you would lose my business. And it's hard for me to think that any real business owner in business is going to do too many drastic things with a law like this. And let's say they did. Well, then somebody's going to have an opportunity to have gay wedding cake manufacturing and probably become a millionaire. There's always an opportunity. But because of the idea of forcing people to do something one way or another on both sides of the issue rubs people the wrong way, makes people go crazy. And that's the problem. This is forcing two great principles against each other, pushing back and forth. Both are very, very held high principles. But I do think the individual's personal religious freedoms are very important and constantly under attack, especially if you're a Christian in this country. I have a hard time believing if the other ethnic groups or other religious groups are being targeted, this would get nearly the media coverage. But that's what I think's happened here in the last 20-something years. We'll see if things get straightened out. We'll see how it goes. But I think this is the media making a mountain out of a molehill because it can, and it further promotes their pro-homosexual agenda, which has been very obvious in the last 10 years.